8:37 here on the Radio Wammo Breakfast. Time for ads, social media and aeroplanes.
I'd stand up for people who don't let anything hold them back. Would you too?
That's probably about enough of that particular ad there from
More than being bad. New Zealand deserves more of that ad for their sins.
It's the new Kiwibank ad, and to talk about that and a whole lot more is Vaughn Davis, tgf.co.nz. Good morning, Vaughn.
How you doing?
I saw this ad on telly the other night. The Kiwibank, what are they calling it? What's the campaign? It's just a...
Oh, it's we're 10 years old, so we're not going to be cool, interesting, challenging, or worth watching. We're just going to make you rich.
Yeah. Push down the boundaries or something. A bunch of kids saying, I'm not going to stand for this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, we're not going to take it. I wonder if that was the original music track.
Yeah.
But this is I don't know. So I love Kiwibank. I love the idea of Kiwibank. There should be a Kiwibank, but there shouldn't be this ad. A bunch of kids, sort of in the manner of the telecom, "Are you coming with us?" ad from a very long time ago. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Except it doesn't even have the charm that had. The dialogue is contrived. The setups piss me off, and I thought it was just me being a grumpy old man, but
no, I got the same feeling of like, the one scenario, some fields are closed. You can't go on the grass, obviously, because the groundsman is sorting out that field.
Yeah.
The kids go run across the field.
Yeah, I'll
anyway.
stand up against rules if they're stupid.
I'll be there shaking my fist.
I'll be there because I want my kids to be able to play soccer through the season. Thanks, not because these kids have screwed up the field. And I don't want the opening shot is of kids that are about to go for a swim on the west coast. No flags, drowning, schmowning.
Or the kid jumping off the rocks into the water. Who knows what's going on down there, whether or not it's shallow or what.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're in a minority, but the comments on...
it's a rubbish ad.
It is a rubbish ad. The comments on the Kiwibank Facebook page, the comments around Twitter and elsewhere in social media, the comments on the advertising blog suggest that we're sort of reflecting the public mood here. And the music, it features a classic Neil Finn track, which I'd never heard. Had you ever heard that song?
Never heard of it.
Never heard that song.
Classic though, is it?
I did do some research, and it is only from 2007, and it was apparently written as an All Blacks anthem, which is warning, re-recorded by some dude who, I'm sure he's famous for something else, but he just sounds a bit like Neil Finn, and it doesn't float my boat. A slightly better aspect of the campaign is they indulged in some random acts of kindness last week, I think it was, where they gave flowers, coffee, newspapers, bits and pieces to commuters, which was kind of nice. If I were one of those commuters, I would have felt more positive about that experience than I did about the ad. But of course, the acts of kindness were not truly random because they were associated with the 10th anniversary and associated with trying to get some viral traction.
Is it now a departure away from the car with the loud hailers on top?
Sadly, yes. And remember, they went from there to where did they go? Sam Neill. Remember those very, very strange things with Sam Neill playing multiple characters? You don't even remember. You've blocked it out of your mind. Yeah, it's sort of Russian dolls with the Kiwibank advertising. They're just getting less and less and less good.
They need to find their Goldsteins.
they need. Well, Goldstein's available, man. He was fired. He's there. Although they did an ad. They did an ad a while ago with what looked very much like Goldstein in it, which was kind of crazy. Over on the
must try harder, Kiwibank.
Yeah, over on the sucky ad, but the experiential stuff is good front. Mercury. Remember, we both got sort of type 2 diabetes from watching the Tiki Tane positive energy ad.
Yeah.
When was it? About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They've come out and done something which I think is pretty cool. They've called it Kiwi Samaritans, and they positioned a woman by the side of the road with the bonnet of a car up and holding what I have to say are a comedically oversized pair of jumper leads. I've never seen such big jumper leads outside of the Warner Brothers Wile E. Coyote prop department.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
But the idea is that someone driving along will see her and help her. And help her they did. I think on average it took her 1 minute for people to turn up and demonstrate, as Mercury calls it, some positive energy. And wham bam, she did. She had a pretty good time. Every time her car started, the garage door next to her would open, and out would come a brass band, some can girls, which was an interesting touch, maybe reflecting a personal fetish of one of the ad creatives, and people bearing a big banner saying Mercury positive energy, blah blah blah. I like this. It made the 6 o'clock news, and it was.
I know one of those fellas.
You know one of them.
Just looking at the video, yeah.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, obviously they wanted this video to go viral. It's been on there for 3 weeks, 10,500 views. Is that a success?
Well, yeah, I mean, 10,000 views ain't too many, really, but...
for the money that would have been piled in
but
the production,
I think it's a
getting
better
it
piece
going.
of content than the ad itself, to
Yeah.
be honest. And, it made the 6 o'clock news.
Oh, well, that's the payoff right
and
there.
that's, well, I'm pretty sure it did. But it's one of those, if we leave a wallet by the side of the road, how long will it take to pick it up and what people will do with it? And it's a real public interest story. So I think that's the strongest part of that campaign so far.
Talking about Good Samaritans.
Good Samaritans.
Yes, let's move into the social media sphere.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of cases this week, including your own, of things being stolen and social media being out there to try and help people get stuff back.
Yeah, so the first one was my good friend Giapo, the world's leading ice cream molecular gastronomist up there on Queen Street, had his laptop nicked by an opportunistic dude strolling up the road, reached his hand around the corner, and away went Giapo's much treasured laptop. And Giapo's been sort of going hard on all social fronts to share the video, share the stills, and try and get this thing back. No luck so far that I know of, but he's certainly using his networks to good effect. So good luck with that.
How many CCTV cameras has he got in that shop?
He has a surprising number of CCTV cameras for an ice cream shop. I have to say, I was in there on I don't even know. I don't even know what day it is. I've coined the phrase today, Zac lag, which is the jet lag effect you get after Anzac Day falls on a Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what day it is. I forgot. I forgot I was on here this morning till about 7:30.
But so the shots, you can actually see the guy. You can actually see him picking up the laptop and walking down the street with it. So
so he's very much in the frame. But then, of course, the second minor star in the social media firmament to have his property cruelly plucked from him was me.
Oh,
me! I had my car nicked, which was sort of sad. Park it outside a brothel. You'd think it'd be safe.
What are you doing parked outside of brothel?
Well, there happens to be a brothel conveniently located 50 metres
sure,
from my front door.
Okay,
so
right.
that's where it was, and woke up in the morning and the car was gone. So tweet. Which
not for the first time, apparently.
Not for the first time. This car has been stolen twice.
Subaru Legacy, people.
Yeah.
The most stolen car in New Zealand.
Yeah. Step 1, tweet. Step 2, call the police. Step 2...
he tweeted first.
Yeah, of course I tweeted
Damn,
first.
car's gone.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, I've got an army of thousands, and the army of thousands, bless them, were incredible. If you're one of the people who retweeted that message on...
I did.
Yeah, well done. Whatever morning it was. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people ended up seeing the message. A lot of love and support from the Twitter community. Thank you very much. I got one of those News Digest emails from Twitter that they've started sending out recently. Have you seen those?
No, all my Twitter emails get siphoned off into the junk box.
It's sort of a flipboardish aggregate of the top top sort of tweets in your area or whatever. I don't know. I have to look into it. But the top 3 were number 3 was one from Kurt Vonnegut, supposedly. Number 2 was one from the Dalai Lama, and number 1 was my someone stole my car tweet. So obviously got a lot of action.
Yeah.
And The good news is that the car was recovered about 24 hours later in Manukau. Apparently, it's just a way of life. You come into town from outside the CBD, you spend all your money, in this case in a brothel, and you can't afford the taxi fare, and the buses are all finished, and let's steal a car, and that's what they did. But it was recovered pretty quickly, and I imagine.
But you haven't seen the car yet.
No,
no idea what's going on inside this car.
No, the lovely police woman on the phone, and they were very good to me on Twitter as well. They were far more responsive.
It could be a soup kitchen. Who knows?
It could be anything. I don't know. But I had this imaginary sort of conversation in my head of the 2 guys who stole it, checking their phones because everyone has smartphones, right? Going, oh no, it's a trending topic on Twitter. And the other guy says, oh, look at his clout score. We're as good as nicked. And they just legged it and they left it where it was. They didn't even steal the stereo, which is a bit insulting, actually. When someone doesn't steal your stereo.
It is kinda. It's not the stock standard stereo that comes with the car.
No, it's quite a nice stereo.
Okay, all right.
Quite a nice stereo.
Oh, well, that must have been just for transport.
It must have been just for transport, and I attribute the successful recovery to social media. I just do.
Finally, a little bit of aeroplane stuff.
Yeah, aeroplane stuff. So this story broke last week, but interestingly, it happened way back in May 2010. The story only just came out. This is yet another Jetstar story, and I don't want to be a Jetstar basher because I've had nothing but good experiences from Jetstar. However, Were I descending into Singapore as a passenger on a May 2010 flight from Darwin and passing through, I think it was 500 feet, I looked out the window. I noticed that I hadn't heard that reassuring clunk of the landing gear going down, and had I known that the captain was busy checking his text messages, allegedly, I'd be a little bit pissed off, especially because I would have dutifully had my phone in my pocket for the entire, 10-hour flight or whatever it was. So,
bit of a worry.
All well and good. The passengers turning their stuff off, but the pilot's got to turn their stuff off.
Passing to 500 feet, wouldn't some alarms go off in the cockpit before then?
Yeah, the alarms did go off, and the co-pilot, bless him, finally noticed that
well, what's that sound?
The landing gear wasn't down.
Pull up.
Yeah. So, they dodged a bullet, and what you could probably conclude is Jetstar is now a safer airline to fly on than had this not happened, because all of their pilots will be very, very aware of the hazards of this. And older listeners will remember that in 2003 in Christchurch we had a pretty horrific crash. I think 8 or so people were killed
in the fog.
On final approach, and it turned out the pilot had been his cell phone had been active in the final approach.
I do remember that night. It was a spooky night.
Yeah. I tweet while flying, but I don't think that's illegal, as I know. Not on private ops.
Just
anyway.
not texting.
If anyone from the Civil Aviation Authority out there is listening, please get in touch, because I don't think Twitter is in your rule book. I'll need to look it up.
You have no problem with your cell phone being on, of course, in the plane?
No. Well, you can buy adapters and all sorts of things to make you to enable you to use your cell phone while flying a plane, a small plane.
What do you mean adapters?
Well, because we work on a headset. When you're flying the plane, you have a headset and a microphone.
Right. To make calls.
Yeah, to make calls. So you can buy something that either through Bluetooth or through through a physical plug integrates your mobile phone into the aircraft's
good reception
wiring.
up there.
Very good reception. Line of sight.
Probably some of the best reception.
Yeah, you seen me tweet.
Very good. TGF.co.nz is where you'll find this as a video once more. Thanks very much, Vaughn Davis.
Thank you.